Okay, let's look for profitable trade ideas in the stock market. We're going to use technical analysis to find our next setup. So if you guys are finding value in this kind of content, if you're interested in the market, interested in trading, interested in trade ideas and making money, drop me a thumbs up. Join the private member group if you're interested in getting additional insights and trade ideas. It's $5 a month. It's basically pretty much affordable. And then also, if you want to learn this as a skill set and not just follow along on my YouTube videos, take my course. I price it affordable. And again, it's basically 5 or 6 different video concepts. And then I also give you guys a checklist on how to find your own high probability setups and what to look for. Kind of a checklist of does it match this criteria. So that's all part of that course. Link in the description below. If you're on an iPhone, you have to hit the description of the video and click the link. Apparently Apple is, crazy or something. All right, let's get into it. All right, so we're seeing some more upside today after the Fed pump yesterday. And again, just on my daily chart, we've got a downtrend line to watch. So again, resistance. This is our bear market trend, and we got a little bit more upside to go on the triple Qs to hit that trend line resistance. So we could get there, maybe we don't. Right now, I think it's objective to start looking at short positions, although again, triple Qs could go a little higher. When I look at SPY's right there at that resistance. So this is your bear market that started back in January of this year. Okay, I've got all these little resistance tags marked, and there's another one. We're basically at resistance here. So this is where the sellers should be stepping in. But with the Qs not being at its trend line, maybe what this wants to do is a couple things. One, this trend line is very obvious, so maybe we're going to overshoot it a little bit and then fail for a couple days, or just grind around here perhaps and just kind of tread water while the Qs plays catch up and hits its trend line. Okay, so that's what I got on the SPY. If I look at the hourly, no negative divergence either. So that just tells me that likely, at least on the hourly, not on the RSI. It is there on the PPO, but again, I think we probably are going to grind around or maybe even overshoot that trend line a little bit to the upside. Looking at the small caps, something like this I think is probably going to happen in the SPY. The small caps are basically right here at 190. Pretty much key resistance as I roll out on the daily. You've got downtrend line here, 1, 2, 3 reactions. We're just above it. Again, this looks like a pretty objective area to start jumping into some shorts. I don't think we're likely going to go much higher than this. Also, you'll notice I've got it pretty much well defined, but this is a big level, and it's really right in here, about 190. All right, that was support, resistance, resistance, overshot it a little there, resistance, resistance, enough reactions to validate that as a key horizontal level of resistance. So what I would say is, maybe intraday we're going to pop it or something, run some stops, but I think we're at the area on IWM where we should likely stop. Okay, and that's what I'm looking for. If I look at the daily, you can see just kind of holding some negative divergence right here on the RSI. And on the PPO, I have to zoom in, but there it is right there. So again, we are at a key level on IWM. I think it's objective to start shorting here. And I'm probably going to be doing that by sometime today, starter position. Again, I don't enter all my positions all at once, but maybe take a starter short. And IWM is chocked full of financials. So let's go ahead and look at the XLF, and you'll see down today, relative weakness. The tech sector's kind of playing catch up and rallying, but the financials are down, they're selling. So again, that's what I talked about yesterday, being, still liking these financials as a short. Again, just one day doesn't change the fact that I'm, entering a swing trade. If I'm looking for a swing trade to start to roll over, and we have days that go against that trade, that doesn't mean that that trending swing trade has been technically negated. So I still like it. Again, to add to my short that I have on XLF, I'd like to take out these lows about 34.40. Take those out. If we get down there, we're probably going to take it out. So far looking good on this short trade, sticking with it. We'll see how this plays out. We made a new high yesterday on the daily right there, and it is a divergent high. We still have negative divergence. If I zoom in on the RSI, you can see There it is. See the momentum, how it's kind of rolling over and trending down, not able to make higher highs. And yet if I zoom out, price has kind of popped and made these higher highs. That's negative divergence. It's on the daily. It's telling me we're likely going to roll over soon, but it doesn't mean it has to happen today, and it might not happen this week, and it might not happen next week. It just tells me that it's going to happen soon, and there's limited upside. So I like this still as a short, sticking with this one. A lot of people ask me to give them stop levels and, you know, I always try to get profit targets. I don't always give stop levels. Each person's criteria is a little bit different on what they're targeting, but you do need to understand what your profit target is and really have a good risk-reward ratio. My stop level right now, I think, is above this 37. A daily close above 37. I can see that, you know, right here, you've got, it's kind of a key level of support right in there. Lots of reactions. And we also have this trend line to watch, this upward trend line that's kind of been a key level. And so we start closing up in this area on the daily, and it's not going to be it's not going to be good for the short trade. So likely I'd probably start to exit, not all at once, but maybe, you know, take off 25% or half, start to exit the trade and close my short trade if we start getting those daily closes above. It's about 37.50 is really what I'm thinking. Okay, let's flip over to gold. So gold bullion running into the 200-day moving average. There's probably going to be some resistance right here, I would think. You're going to probably have a pullback or some sort of a reaction. Usually you don't slice right through the 200-day moving average. So that's gold bullion. I'd expect probably a pullback. And then gold futures. Gold futures has a level of resistance. It's right in this area right here. Okay, and it's basically where we're at. So I would expect probably a pullback here as well. Doesn't mean that the miners can't continue to run a little bit more. If I look at some of one of the trade ideas was Newmont that I pointed out, and here it is. You can see I've got a level of, it's really this gap fill we're looking at, kind of right in here. And also as I scroll out on the daily, this was a level of support right in there. A little bit, some reactions right in here. So that's kind of my target, somewhere right in there at about 52.50, and we're marching straight up towards it. So I don't see any indication we're not going to continue higher. We might get a pullback along the way, but you know, maybe like that. But it still looks like we're going to head up there towards that level of resistance and profit target. One thing I also want to point out on triple Qs, you know, my downtrend line is right here. I've got it kind of marked out. I might be, you know, the thing is, you'll notice that here's the all-time highs, and right in here, I'm a little bit above that, and I am tagging this data point right here. So I only have really 2 data points to go off of. I could adjust it down and make it something like that, which would put us at using this data point and kind of an overshoot on that one. All right, so that is possible, and if we do that, we are basically right there at key levels of resistance. So, you know, it could go either way. I think, you know, I think it makes sense to probably, in my mind, start stepping in to short some of these things. They look like most of them are at key levels of resistance, and you know, whether we have a little more upside or not, we're definitely, there's limited upside from what I can tell. Okay, so I am looking for this being near the highs, if not the highs, and then, you know, maybe a little more upside, maybe a tag of the 200, but ultimately after that, making the next leg lower. So that's what I got, guys. I'm gonna get the video out. Let me know how I'm doing. Leave a comment, drop a thumbs up. Catch you on the next one. Bye.